Hey, everybody, we're here for Outside the Fox. Let's go. It's time. It's podcast time. Woo! All right. And we're going to start in hot and heavy. No, but hey, guys, hope everybody's doing good today. So we're going to.
It's a good day.
Starting,
it's Spooktober. Let's go.
Woo! We got the spooky Hello Kitties and the Beetle Goose.
Yeah.
I actually got to rock my Shining shoes. I literally, when these came out, I bought 2 pairs because I was so enamored, but I was like, they'll never make this again. Probably like a Shining shoe. So let me get 2 of these. So.
I wish I did that with the Mario shoes that they did, and I was like, dang. Once they got dirty and I couldn't clean them anymore, I was like, please.
I'm still jealous. I'm still jealous that you got them because I wanted the Donkey Kong stuff.
Yeah.
But I was a broke guy at that point.
Listen, you got no room to talk, Mr. PlayStation Shoes.
I know. Yeah.
Bastard.
Tyler will never let me. Have you seen the new Reebok ones, by the way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And they're limited to like 150 pairs or 1,500 pairs or something. Like it's a low run. I
did the devil face in the chat because
I
was going to try, and I pray. Actually, I almost don't because I'd feel offended if I did. But when I started looking at them, I was like, "Be kind of cool to have 2 pairs."
Oh, dude, I want. And what sucks is you're vying into a lottery system, so if you win, then you have the chance to buy it. It's like,
I know, yeah. Well, I guess it's better than the Scalpers winning. But yeah, I don't know.
Yikes!
I don't know. Half the any video or thing I watch these days, it's always like just either they are like a business and they're like the scalper, or it's like another video like fans who are like scalpers, and I'm like, man, yeah.
Well, sometimes it's egregious. Like I watched a video the other day of like the Pokemon release, and they put all their Costco has like ETBs in a gigantic cardboard, and he just picked up the whole thing. I'm like,
the Costco videos are my favorite to watch for the madness, but
it's so annoying.
It hurts. It hurts to watch them because I'm also like, God, why can't people just respectfully get 1 or 2?
Yeah.
Even if you're like going to do that, buy 3 or 4, but just still be like. But there's always that one guy who's like, well, and I guess I get like, I don't know how much of this is actual anymore. Like, genuinely, I'm buying this for the heck of it, or I'm buying this to, I don't know.
Yeah, because even some who come to the store, which we do retail pricing, and then we limit customers so everybody can have a chance of getting stuff. But even some who come to the store, some of them you can see it's like a little bit of a facade. They're just like, I need money and I'm going to flip this. And like, you know what, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. We're not trying to control whatever you do with it, but it's like, damn.
I don't mean to do a correction on the podcast, but we do some retail, but do marketing at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason is we don't do high, but I'll explain the back of it is like with this, Matt, like it's a weird situation where like distributors basically have like limited it heavily. You got to keep buying. Either you have to buy it at higher prices, so we have to mark them higher.
Oh, yeah.
To get it, or 2, it's like we have a couple, like we have one really, it's basically, but we have one guy who's like, they'll sell it to you at the price you used to, but you have to buy a bunch of other stuff to get it. So at the end of the day, if they don't mark that stuff, I don't know, but either way.
The Dwayne method.
Yeah, and it's kind of rough because it's like either way, you're not really just able to buy the product straight out. So, and at the price that people, to keep the prices. But there's also aspect of thinking like, if you go to like MSR, let's say the box is $300 and you're doing $160, you do have to worry about like if I price it like the MSRP like $165 or $4 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
You got to worry about like how many people are going to be scalpers in the line and not genuine. You know what I mean? So if you're still doing like we've done the last few, sometimes 200 or 190, 220. You know what I mean? Just depending on the market. We go fair bit under, but I do that to keep. It's like the hope is to keep scalping down to where it's not just like a total freaking win. You know what I mean? Like the limits are true, yes, but just so it's like, all right, well, you're still getting a win as a customer. You're still getting better price than like 300. It's like the last one was 220, so you're getting 80 down from there. But kind of hopefully deter some scalping behaviors to where it's like, all right, hey, I'm not going to make as much as I normally make, but you're still doing good for your cut. And then there's grateful because they're not having to buy 300. So it's like trying to find that middle road where, and then the extra, if there's any extra money to be made, it just goes right back in to buy.
Oh, yeah.
To going back into the distribution model. So it's all like, it's been an interesting year. I mean, it guarantees the product. So, I mean.
Yeah, and I think customers have been extremely happy with us and all that and pricing and availability, too. Even somebody on Reddit had posted, where can I get one? And I was like, Red Fox, and it was just like, I got one. I was like, we got you.
I've seen overwhelmingly positive. I haven't seen negative. I mean, the worst you could be is do the 300, and then at
Yeah.
that point, it's like, okay, well, you know what I mean? Like,
Why I should choose you when I can go somewhere else?
Yeah. I mean, we're in a weird cycle. I hope it, this last week, everyone was like, oh, man, it's starting to finally flatline. But I do agree. I listened to another TCG podcast. Shout out to May the Zoo Be With You.
Oh, yeah.
I'm about to say Kitchen Table. That's the guy his store is named Kitchen Table TCG.
Oh, gotcha.
But, and he was just talking, they were talking about like, oh, this week's kind of flatlined. But he's like, well, all of them have, I mean, like everybody's calmed down this week. Could be some of the new economic news. Could be the economy in general. Could just be like the TCG market's calming down.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say when you get into conversations like that, I know Spider-Man didn't do, which I guess I'm kind of jumping here, but since we are just talking like,
yeah.
I mean, we kind of have just jumped right into TCG. I'll just kind of just be like, and lead into it because we're here at it. But, Spider-Man didn't do, it's Final Fantasy. Bonkers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Boxes, MSRP on a collector's box is supposed to be... So, like, Magic reintroduced... They had MSRP years ago. They took away MSRP. They put back MSRP. They lowered the... They had, I think it was 36 play booster packs. They went back to... It was 30, I think. They went back to 36. They're now at 30 again. So, they've cut and upped. And then, like, last time they did it, they've cut the amount of packs. And then they upped the price at the same time. So, it's like... less bang for buck. But point of what I'm trying to say is those play boosters end up shooting up to as high as I saw 1,300 on the Final Fantasy realm.
Oh, yeah.
800 or 900 right at launch, I believe. Spider-Man's was, I believe, a lot of it was feeding off of what, they saw a set like Final Fantasy could do.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man collectively is like, it's already been told it's supposed to be a mini set. There was only like 200 to 300 cards in the set, whereas like Final Fantasy, I believe... God, I think of all different printings, rarities, everything. I know it's at least over 5. It's just much higher number for a normal set.
Right.
And they made it a full-on release. People were like, it's a weak set. They don't like the power of the set. There's like cards that apparently like people got very upset about, like, Bagel and Schmear, like, as a card because it's a high fantasy game and, like, you got cards like, there was literally, I think it's Guy in a Chair is literally one of the cards.
Oh, right.
Like, he's a hacker. It's just like, I wouldn't say it's unimaginative. It's just not fitting to the setting.
I think that's what I've heard too. Because I'm not quite in the TCG space, like especially Magic. It's still outside of my realm, but you get osmosis through the customers and everything. And I think a lot of people were just like not feeling, Spider-Man because it does kind of stray away because you're talking about fantasy, high fantasy, and elves. Final Fantasy kind of fits into that.
Lord of the Rings,
yeah, because it's
Fallout.
like kind of. I don't know. It almost fits in. Like the characters almost look like elves anyway in Final Fantasy, so it sort of matches. Plus, Final Fantasy has this huge cult following. They're 20-something odd games in an entire franchise, so it makes sense. And I know Spider-Man's huge. That is the most popular Marvel character, I think. Yeah. Before, I think Iron Man might have taken over a little bit after the movies, but Spider-Man's still huge. But it doesn't quite fit in a world where there's like an ogre who can just like.
Yeah,
bash. It just doesn't quite make sense, and with summons and things like that. So that's what I've heard.
Yeah,
so, and then there's and it's more toy-like it seems because I've never seen it with Magic. Like you get playmats and coins and whatever, but like I saw like there's figures you can buy in the box with booster packs for Spider-Man, and I was like, what?
Oh, you might be talking about the. I think there's like the toys.
Yeah.
I believe those are Hasbro toys. I could be wrong. See, Hasbro owns...
We have one at the store.
I'd have to look at the box, but Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a big theory debate. So, if you look at, like, Hasbro's numbers, like, Magic has been carrying, absolutely carrying Hasbro as a company. So, like, they're doing more sets than ever before. Like, they've got 7 sets next year, which a lot of people, again, leads into a lot of what I talk about.
Yeah.
They just released... Everyone kind of knew, but they just released like Friday. TMNT is going to be one of the sets.
Oh yeah.
They're doing TMNT. They're doing Marvel superheroes because when they did Spider-Man, they did the Soul Stones. So they're already talking about like, okay, they did one of the Infinity Stones. There's going to be either 6 sets, or maybe they'll put 2 in the next set. Who knows? Like, but for years to come, it seems like we're going to be seeing more Marvel and Star Trek and The Hobbit. And The Hobbit. Again, that Lord of the Rings very much fit.
Absolutely,
high fantasy. You said elves, or
it's almost like you think of like Magic, D&D, and like Lord of the Rings. They're all kind of like in the same universe almost.
Fit.
Yeah.
And TMNT is a little.
That's off kilter again. And their team ups lately have been absolutely insane.
It's Fortnite, basically.
Yeah, they're teaming up with every character. They have a He-Man team. It's like, what are we doing? Damn, guys.
And the problem, like someone was saying, is like if you look at what Hasbro had the licensing for, it kind of makes sense because they probably almost do those deals or are doing the deals like side by side.
Yeah.
Because I mean, TMNT's always had. I mean, as a kid, I used to collect the heck out of TMNT and X-Men. And like, makes total sense as they're working out like some of these like Hasbro toy deals. I'm sure they're in the background being like, well, hey, why don't we go ahead and also sign you up for our other company, Wizards of the Coast, and get some. I mean, I will say I like it, but I may not. I'm one of the people that they brought in because before never really paid attention as much.
Yeah,
I'm one of those new people that's like, oh man, I love it. Like I love the like, like
you
cool
do have this stuff. Yeah,
well, you have this storied history game that's got like 30 some years, and then you have like this just deep tapestry of cards and like gameplay and people who are interested. But then you have like new stuff, like other IPs that like kind of pull you. And maybe they're, I know it does kind of do like a Y Schwartz kind of like, you know what I mean? Like where universes, where it's like multiple, like, and they push together, like, like kind of like a Union Arena, you have got like Bleach and. Yeah, just different like IPs kind of battling it out together.
Now, do you think this is going to be damaging to the brand at all, the branding of Magic or the game itself? Because I've heard a lot of customers, or not a lot, but a few customers mention like it's kind of ruining the fun of Magic for them. Even though like they like Magic, and the more people that get in it, the better. But to come in and like with a like TMNT deck or something like that, people don't seem to really enjoy that when they're just like pure about the game.
I would say the original core audience is probably going to be lost or very splintered, but I do think they're bringing in so many other different fans. Now, like one thing I have heard is like, okay, well, is TMNT fan coming in, collecting that set, and he's done? Like he's, is he or she just going like, I'm just getting these cards, I love this IP, and I'm done with it? Or did you really convert someone? I mean, I'm an example where, again, I never in my life for Lord of the Rings had touched a pack of Magic.
Yeah.
And never even looked at it. I had looked at like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, and then just some others throughout history, but never once paid attention. That pulled Bailey and me in, and I would say like Bloomberg was one of the first like Magic sets that was like, because I read the series called Redwall that it reminded me of, and really enjoyed that. And but as soon as I heard they were doing Final Fantasy, I was like, oh boy, I am a huge Final Fantasy fan. Like like Assassin's Creed was a mildly cool. The Fallout, I didn't play Commander at the time, so like I mean most of the time I think the most draw of that was the deck. I hadn't played really. Yeah, probably seen as a games for older, but I haven't played Fallout yet, so. It's just one of those ones where I was like, "That's cool." I thought it was really cool. I do like the style of it, but definitely, I definitely think they're going to lose some, but they're going to gain. If you actually, that was one of the things, I will attach as you guys are watching this on YouTube and otherwise, but like one of the charts from like Wizards of the Coast, like profit margins.
Yeah,
so I thought, I mean, just like just skyrocketed. So I think it's one of those things where like. Yes, you're going to lose some people, but like in the grand scheme of like money, which is what Hasbro really, Hasbro has to like. Honestly, at this point, it's almost like they're all in on Wizards. I mean, but you think about a secret layer. You print 5 or 6 cards. You have the IP and the licensing, whatever that costs. That, and then you charge $30 for 5 or 6 cards, and the card might. I'm just literally throwing out 10 cent, a nickel. I don't know. I mean, like the IP is what they probably pay for the most, like the licensing.
Oh yeah.
Beyond that, it's, I mean, just astronomical profit.
Just pure profit. Like,
pure profit on cardboard, on paper. Like
number go up, yes.
So, I mean, highly, I mean, that was one of the things I've heard. It was that they were doing 7 sets. They did 6. I think they did 8 the year before in 24.
Yeah.
So they've been playing around with like numbers, but this next year's 7. But the other funny part is that there are 4 universes beyond, like that's like outside of Magic, and only 3 of their own Magic like sets.
Wild.
It actually outnumbers that, which Star Trek's the only one I'm just kind of like, I grew up with TMNT. I'm not going to say I'm like the hugest, like, oh, I love it. Like I know people are like way more dedicated than I am. I probably definitely, I'll see some cards. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I
give me a Krang.
Yeah, I played I had the figures. I always liked the one that had the pizza box in his chest and he shot out pizza.
That I had, the little, the pizza shooter. I had that. That thing was in the van. That was so cool.
I was literally going to mention the van. I had the van. I watched I can't say I'm nostalgic for the movies as much as like I think
I enjoyed it, most of the
cartoons.
movies. Yeah, the shows and all that. I didn't like the third movie, but I like pretty much the rest of the movies. They were pretty good.
I think there's a '90s cartoon, and then there's also the 2000s.
Yeah. Oh, there's been like I think 4 separate series from the 2000s, apart from the 90s version.
I watched the cartoon in the '90s, the 2000s. Actually, ironically, I watched the Beetlejuice cartoon was really fun. And
Oh
cool,
yeah, I
but
love that. Yeah.
there's some like ones I forget about that I'm like, all right, I do forget.
Yeah, when they
that.
do compilations like on TikTok, it pops up. I'm like,
Yeah, I like my brain's like, all right, that was
core memory unlocked. Oh my god.
it was a cartoon, but yeah, 2000s. And Steve and me had like the GameCube game. Like some of the games have been pretty. I'm not going to call them like deepest level, but the GameCube games were fun little. And then they've also had the SNES ones, like the arcade style. Like,
Oh yeah,
those
absolutely.
are good. I mean, TMNT does have some strong.
TMNT has always been really good. You know, even they're still releasing figures today. You know, and they're doing like the anniversary figures of the original comic run, where they're black and white with the red bandana.
Oh man, the Last Ronin and some of that stuff.
Yeah,
it looks cool. I haven't paid attention to it, but I just from like a distance, like wow, that looks cool.
Oh yeah,
looks like,
I love it. I'm in the same boat. I'm just like I liked it when I was younger. I kind of grew out of it, but you know, we'll see. I wonder how the set will do.
I do appreciate some. It's kind of almost gets cringy how bad they've done it, but the dark, cringy, edgy side of like stuff like the Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Like I don't exactly enjoy the Zack Snyder. It was actually more refreshing to watch the James Gunn Superman because it was like bright and like happy and optimistic, and you know,
well,
like,
every movie had to be dreary at one point. You know what I mean? Like even up until the recent Batman movie, which makes sense for that character. That's fine.
That version of him, yeah.
But it's like everything got gritty for some reason. Even the TMNT already had that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the that 2007 animated movie, the self-titled TMNT movie, it was like very dark, and Raphael's like this
brooding character.
Yeah, like everything had to be that. So like it's refreshing to see something that's vibrant and colorful and hopeful.
Life
like, oh
is
my
good.
God.
Yeah, life's happy. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I will say excited. I will say I like the Spider-Man set, but I will admit, I think someone did a count. It was like 30-some different, just literally different versions of Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, Spider-Gwen, character models of like variations, like 33 cards in a set of 200. So like just,
Goku in a fighting game.
Yeah. Just yes.
Yeah.
Just a little bit overkill, and I do feel like I agree that like they could have went a little. But again, they planned it. I don't know. I think something happened, and I don't want to harp too much on the subject because I feel like time wise, just a lot. So I'm actually going to save like the biggest one. I think you know what topic because we both.
Yeah.
I'll save it for last. So
yeah.
Silent Hill F, just excited.
Happy. Oh yeah, I haven't touched it yet.
You know what? I'll say recent releases: Silent Hill F, Yuka Replay Lee.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's a tongue twister for me, but it is. Both two. Oh, and Mario got again.
Oh yeah.
Don't put too much on it. It's a re-release, so but I guess Yuka Replay Lee is, but they really, really, really like put some time. I mean, like I just keep seeing like the comparison models, like gameplay, like. I did a degree. I played it, and I mean, I'm a huge fan of the banjo like formula.
Yep.
I don't remember walking away being like, "Wow, this is a new modern favorite for me." It was good.
Yeah.
I bought the 2D one because I do that more like, we were talking about Tron. Like she's never watched it. She just really wants to watch Tron Ares.
Oh yeah.
So we watched the second one, and she's seen like. A lot of people were like, I'm a Tron fan, so I went to Ares, mainly just not because it's great, but because I want them to make another one.
Yep.
So I need to go to this one just so at least they're like, okay, well, people are watching it, even if they don't think the best of it. But that's kind of like how I feel about like the ukulele. Jesus, I'm really struggling today, but struggling with that. But the 2D one, I bought it.
Yeah.
It was good. Again, it was
I enjoyed it.
Kong Country. I bought it just to be like, hey, I want you to keep making them because eventually you might hit the good one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, you're doing good. Like, that's a genre that I still really enjoy that no one does anymore. So,
yeah, Platonic they're very dedicated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's that old Rare team, essentially. So
it's brilliant. I love it. And Silent Hill F, I haven't gotten to play it, but I've seen nothing but seems like good overall. I mean, I don't think I've seen 10s, but I think I saw 7 to 9s as far as like, good. I'm just glad. I mean, we've talked about before Konami coming back and like, this makes me so happy with the re-release of 2 being good, not like because even the HD collection, I remember being very glitchy. People talking about like just very
well, they lost the source code completely and had to like rebuild stuff from the ground up. It's like what? And then also Silent Hill F, I will say this, hit 1 million sales in
Good.
3 days.
Fantastic.
And I don't know if they confirmed it or not, but they were saying that they're doing a remake of the first one. So
I'm
they're
so
just going
excited.
ahead and kicking that out. So and the new movie's coming out.
I'm
at
so
some
excited
point.
for that. I love the cult classic. For me, I love the first one. The second one, it's okay.
Shannon is not like a huge fan of like video games and like video game movies, but like Silent Hill is one of her favorite movies. Like what an opener! Like everything's great.
I enjoy the because I do it too, but the white person with fog. It's just Silent Hill. Like I do that all the like. Even in the past, where the meme came out, and I was like, "Yeah, I fit that model.
Yeah,
I'm that dude." Is this Silent Hill?
Oh my god, I do the same
like
thing.
Silent Hill. So.
Yeah, the past like 2 weeks has been really foggy when I take the kids to school in the morning. I'm just like, oh,
Silent Hill.
If you hear any sirens,
oh my god, they need to get one. But amazing. I'm really happy. I'm really that's just. Well, I guess I haven't even. The last one is coming out this week. Pokemon Legends ZA. Like,
oh yeah,
Mega Evolutions. I'm glad the picture I posted on our Facebook highly accurate. And apparently that was like a leak, but someone couldn't leak pictures, so they had to do drawings of.
Yeah.
Which I actually really enjoyed, that each one was like a version of what they were described.
Yep.
As, and it's very accurate. Like I've seen them.
You can't do that because that'd be like copyright, but if you can do an artist interpretation of it.
Very cool. Well, the only one I'm dunking on right now, Mega Starmie. It was the long legs, like it's just like it's like Patrick from the movie. Like,
when he's wearing the stockings.
I was like, who approved this? Who said this was like this is it? But sometimes I like the goofy ones because it is kind of like fun. They're not all just like cool. Like there's something like dorky a little bit in a fun way. And you're like, all right, this is kind of
some like streamer YouTuber is gonna make some fun clips out of that.
Oh,
like
man.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah, that one's
gonna be good moments.
Plus, Staryu in the old anime where he's like, like, it's like weird. I don't know the model because some of them are like, they'll do their names like charge, like And then sometimes you'll get like random like Krabby, but or like Staryu going you don't know like what's the rule here? Like, do they say their names only? Where like do some of them just they're like let's do a fun noise like there's
Jeff, get in here.
Like, just like what I mean. I don't know, but one thing you brought up and I even saw it because I keep getting emails and. I don't know if it has to do with the tariffs or not, but the PlayStation Gear store closing down.
Oh yeah,
little sad. Have you ordered a lot from there?
I've ordered quite a bit from there. They had like a lava lamp type thing that I got from there. I got the Astrobot. I got a bunch of like the merch when it came out and stuff. I got the varsity jacket, the Astrobot. Yeah,
I was actually going to send you the link because I was like, oh, he can finally get that jacket. And then I went and looked and it was gone, and I was like, oh, I got that jacket.
No, I got that, and I got the hoodie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I got that a while ago because I knew I was like, they're not going to invest a ton. I'm surprised they re-released the Astrobot controller and they updated the look just slightly. So I'm very surprised. But that's weird that's shutting down and they're canceling their music tour. Like, that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I don't know. I'll say like
I like to speculate. It sounds like they are.
I have theories, but
they're multi-platform.
I mean, I will just say, I don't know. My takes on this one, I'm actually
they're definitely they're going to invest more in multi-platform. Kind of like Microsoft, because I think there's a reason they've been putting their games out on PC. It's obviously like a timed exclusive or whatever, but I think that they realize like we can't just have our games on the one console because the other releases have been really good sellers. So I think that maybe not full multi-platform will release on Xbox and all this stuff, but I think that their strategy is to they'll get more sales if they put it on a couple more platforms. I think that's just the only thing they're thinking
at this point. It almost makes sense for a lot of them to think about PC, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
But what I don't like about that is you don't get to control, like, your branding. You don't get to, like, PlayStation, you're on there. It's slapped everywhere. I mean, you're getting, like, inundated with, like, their ads, their stuff. I use the PlayStation for streaming more than anything. I use it for gaming. I will be very, very, very sad today if they ever, like, we're stopping. I'd like Nintendo. I can't see... Nintendo would only do it if it literally physically just did not make sense anymore because I know from their standpoint, their games, like that's how they're able to bring out because they understand they built the console so that their hardware, their software really fits it so well because they bring out the best in it, knowing what it can and can't do. So like, I just really don't think, and then they innovate a lot. Like there's so many things like If everything was just PC based, it would just be like we would be stuck playing. I'm at a computer desk with a monitor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we wouldn't get stuff like fun things like the Wii or like 2DS, 3DS, DS lineup where it's like the difference. You know what I mean? Just sitting there trying stuff, just throwing stuff at the wall. Like, you know.
I don't think that they'll give up the console space, but I think they'll definitely port more games to PC. And besides, you won't be stuck at a desk. You can get you an Xbox ROG Ally X and take it with you.
Well, and see, this is an example where I don't want to be, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Nintendo fanboy. I don't care.
Oh, that's fine.
I'm going right on it.
Yeah.
They've copied, because like that's the thing. Nintendo does their own little weird thing.
Yep.
And if it proves right in the market, then they're like, oh, this concept works.
Yep, exactly.
You know, like, there's no way in hell that like Xbox or PlayStation would have came out with the Move controller, the Kinect, if the Wii hadn't wasn't the trendsetter there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I'll admit, like, I don't want to be as bold as say they wouldn't have done the PSP or the Vita because of Nintendo. I'll just say they probably at least saw Nintendo doing very well and dominating that market, the handheld market, and were like, I want a piece of that.
Exactly.
And I will say the Sony's, as far as the graphics, because that was a point where graphics mattered, I would say, almost more. You could do a better, higher graphical model, and people are like, wow, you're really innovating. You're innovating here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We've gotten past that point where, like, everything, automatically, I just expect things to look good.
Yep.
We're at that point where it's like, and if it doesn't, I'm assuming that's part of your art style almost. I know it sounds weird, but like you're going for a specific art style or something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything just usually looks pretty good.
I agree. Yeah. Everything looks good to me. There's nothing that I'm like, oh my god, look at these 8K textures like that. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't do nothing for us like it did before.
Yeah, I'm moving. Like I'm not looking at like, oh, look at the grass. Like, who cares?
So we've lost that foundation, and I think like you get something like the Switch where it's like, and I'm not. Now you could even say like the Sega's, oh my god, not the Game Gear. What's their?
Oh, the Nomad.
The Nomad. Now, I will admit, the Nomad kind of did what the Switch did.
Yeah.
But way ahead of their time. Now, Sega even innovated with, like, Sega TV, and, like, you could check your banking account. Like, I am going to say Sega was an innovator, even though they're so far ahead of their time on that.
Yep.
But Nintendo, again, even that time did. The Virtual Boy, to me, it's a weird thing. But they tried something. They weren't just like, more power, more heart. That's the problem, I think, with Sony and Xbox is they're at that point where it's like you don't have anything innovative to really be like, well, why? I can hook your controller up to the PC. Yep. I can you're starting to let me play games on the PC. It's a power aspect. Now it's just power. There's no, I'm like, oh, man, I can, I mean, like even the VR2 would be kind of a pull, but like I don't see no advertisement for it, no games.
No.
That would be a reason for someone to own a PlayStation, a unique reason to own a PS5.
See, but you don't need to own a PS5 to use PSVR now. You can. They released it for PC.
See, I didn't even know that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like that's an example where it's like there's no, like Nintendo's like we're not doing it.
Nintendo's just like, hey, look at this, and then like that's it.
You get it on a console, you don't.
Yeah,
that's it. But they make such good stuff that you kind of have to. So like, they still understand the exclusivity market where it's like. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see Sony like out evolve because like Xbox, I got a lot to say this time.
Oh my god!
But I would like to see Sony innovate. But like Sony, it would not. In fact, I will even say this very calmly. They're probably definitely got some kind of Switch-like console coming.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And I wouldn't be shocked if PS6 possibly either came like that. There was a version that you could get on the side, like for an extra couple $100. They were like, if you buy the optional attachment, you can play it on the go.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, the Portal was kind of cool, but weird. They should have just made it to where you could play your games and charge us $200 or $300. I would have paid maybe an extra $50 if I don't know if that's what it took.
Yeah.
To maybe add more tech and just get it where it could just, I don't know what they needed to do.
Or at least stream the games like
something
through the Wi-Fi or whatever, not just like, hey, this is for your PS5.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to me.
Exactly. Like, if it's going to be a digital handheld, sure. Because they don't have the cartridges. They do the disc.
Yeah.
You could put in, like, a disc drive. It would actually... This is one of those times where I'd be like, yeah, I could totally see digital game for them. And that's like... They're, like, happy about that. That's whatever. I don't know. Just want to... But see, that won't be innovating again. That's just going the route. I would love to see Sony be like, we're going to take a risk. We're going to do something wild.
Yeah.
We're going to innovate and do something that's not been done yet. But... even though you could say Switch 2 is kind of, safe. I mean,
yeah, Switch 2 was definitely safe. They knew that they couldn't really. I think they wanted to just keep the momentum going. The only thing that baffles
money, the
me,
coffers.
yeah, the only thing that baffles me about Nintendo and what they're doing right now is, so there's a lot of developers who have not gotten the dev kits, including major developers, and it's like, I know their worry is the MIG Switch. That really threw a wrench in their works because, like, oh my God, people can just pirate the games and throw them on their Switch with no real effort or anything. So I think they're scared to death of, oh, here's dev kits or whatever, and then somebody gets a hold of it, and then it's like, uh-oh, they've made a MiG 2.
I've heard a rumor about why. But again, it could be a rumor, could just be like a theory, but I've heard it felt like a really good one. It was basically like, I don't know if it's like from developer. I mean, I can't remember where, but it was basically like Nintendo's worry or concern is they don't want the Switch 1 library to end up being like Switch 2, like a bunch of shovelware, just constant hentai games. Like, I mean, when I go to like the selling section, it's like on sale. I mean, you would get hit like every 3 to 4 on Switch, like lines. You'd be like, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, guys, this is weird. This is just weird.
Unfortunately, it's already there.
It is. But I wonder, too, if they're trying to force developers to continue support Switch 1's backwards compatible.
Yeah.
And it's like, just keep that market's it's screwed. It's done. It's like, just keep it going. I have seen one thing that, and it kind of sucks though, but like, it's kind of cool, but like the whole game key card thing, and like there are some where it's like, hey, well, some of them are still putting out Switch 1 carts.
Yeah.
And they're forcing them to. At least that's complete as of right now. And you can play it on Switch 2. And it usually just in general will bring it up a little bit just from running better.
Oh, yeah.
Just a natural bump up, even if there's not a patch or anything to go with that. But
you throw more hardware at it, it'll run it like slightly better, yeah.
Yeah, even without anything. Like I know Batman Arkham, like the Arkham series.
Yeah.
They were saying like the Knight series running a little rough on Switch 1, but Switch 2 just without a patch, it didn't do nothing to it. It was up in the frame rates already, I think the 30 reliably on that one. So it's a good example like where it's, I don't know. I was just going to say, like, the GameCube guard thing, I keep waiting for it to get fixed, but I keep seeing articles where developers are like, we like this. And I'm like, oh, if the industry likes it, I don't know how much, even if the fans are like, please, like, might just be one of those ones where it's like, doesn't financially make as much sense, I guess.
Yeah, I would say economically, if it's not viable for a developer, they're going to be like, no.
Or even Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo hasn't, I mean, I think they've said they're aware of it, but I don't know if that means they'll do anything about it. I would love to see them do a 32 gig, a 96 maybe, and just give those ranges a little bit, even 8, because there are some times where it's just real small. Well, 16 probably.
Yeah. Have smaller ones.
Yeah, probably not 8 anymore. I think for Switch 1 that fit real well, but I'd say 16, 32, and 96, and you would see more.
Yeah.
And people would be happier. I mean, the sales data, I don't want to diverge too far, but I remember they said like the sales data, like Cyberpunk's incredible.
Yeah.
Because it's complete on cartridge, but like a lot of the other developers are saying like they're having terrible game key card sales.
Yeah.
I even seen an article that was like the video game market is being propped up by 4% of the whales that are buying games, because like the average gamer only buys 2, which either makes me think, one, they're doing like the live service kind of model where like a lot of
like a
lot of gamers are gaming, but they're playing like, let's just say like a Fortnite where like I can buy a new skin and play this game for free. And it's like, you can play it every night. It's fun. You have a community. It's like the dream, I guess, because, I mean, there's some games I play over and over and over from one purchase, and it's done. Makes me wonder, but I don't know. I mean, that seemed a little odd, like 4%. It was real small.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also kind of going back to, like, the PlayStation thing. I think that's the issue with a lot of PlayStation franchises. They're kind of a 1, maybe 2 and done kind of thing. Like The Last of Us. How many times are you going to go through and play through that? And I'm not even making fun of like the remakes and all that, but it's like narratively, how many times, you know what I mean? Like, are you going to do that? How many times are you going to play through Horizon? Unless the gameplay is really good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's the only like pullback. Whereas, these free-to-play games and all that stuff where, I get a new skin, but the gameplay's different every time. Even though it's the same concept, you get a different outcome. You might get a different matchup with people, so
it's fun, and you get better and better, and it's like it's just fun. And sometimes there's the esports / tournament aspects. And playing for your buddies or playing with family, and it's just fun to.
It's always more fun with friends.
Compete, but let's go to The last one.
Okay.
Xbox
Well, hold on. Before that, I want to say I started Ghost of Yote.
Oh, yeah. You like it?
I
forgot
really...
that was another one of the releases I dropped.
It's really, really good. I like the character of Atsu. She is awesome. I do like it. I have some issues with it. At this point, I like Tsushima better, but this game is gorgeous. Oh my god! And does it like Tsushima loaded quickly with stuff, but this is on another level. Like it's across the map, and it's at literally 2 seconds, and it's just like bloop, you're there, and it's just like, oh my god.
I will say that's that SSD. And,
yeah.
Do they make use of the haptic feedback at least?
Oh yeah, they definitely. It uses everything, and in the Pro. Like, it's got the Ray Tracing Pro or whatever, and, like, this thing it makes no noise. Like, it is, I'm doing all kinds of stuff, and it's throwing wind and storms, and I'm teleporting, and I don't hear it go, like, it's just quiet. So, it's like, if you have a Pro, Yote is definitely one of the games you need to get, because holy cow.
I did see some news for PS6 coming out where, like, they're going to be using some of the PS5, like, the AI and, like, kind of the AI, but, like, the using some of the features that kind of, like, lift it up.
Yeah.
I started to feel like old because I started putting the in front of things. I'm like, the Facebook, the AI.
Yeah, the Facebook, yeah.
Do you have the TikTok? You know, like, throwing the randomly in front of things. And
oh, my God.
Oh, do you have the MacBook?
I need one. Do you have the Xbox? God, which one?
Yeah, right.
Speaking of Xbox.
Yeah, oh, well, there we go.
You go ahead. You start because you're going to be more conservative than I will.
I don't know about that. I got to the point where I'm about to just rip because I'm like, I mean, we've always supported, I'd say the 4, but there's really the 3. I mean, like with Sega being considered, but like obviously they've been gone for a long time.
A long time.
Long time, but like as a game store, it's kind of like weird, but like, it's like we stopped. Okay, so when we started doing new releases at all, have not carried Xbox.
Nope. And
it's just because like they give their game away for Game Pass.
Yep.
Like, it's always been a problem, like for a physical store. I get it. Maybe they're not concerned with that route at all, but I just knew it wasn't viable to start with. But they still kept going, and I just wondered how much money, And so like you make this game for several million. I'll say tens of millions, probably even over 100 on some of these.
Yeah,
and you just kind of give it away for free, basically $20 subscription. And I'm like, it's not really viable though. Like that $60-$70 that you're charging for that game alone was what you're doing your model on, for paying people. And I just was like, unless you get like just absolute crazy economy of scale, what I mean? It's just but costs are rising. AAA development's harder than ever, and that was a lot of what was pulling people. And that's been something I've seen forever. Like seen a lot of the confusion with the names, so for a long time on the back burner, I think a lot of people, and especially from a store perspective, we've been thriving off of the 360 like goodwill. Like Xbox was okay, like original, like OG.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was okay. There was nothing wrong with it. It was like great. It was just it was okay. It was fine.
You kind of like made this face and just went, not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. There's some good games, and it's out of the people, clearly PS2 is like the winner for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, big time.
But 360 came in swinging hard and in a pretty, I'd say, like tough generation overall, but like they came in swinging. They did great. Obviously, that's crazy considering the failure rate of the consoles.
I was about to say that is probably the most surprising thing about the 360 era is even though more than half the consoles, were doomed to fail, it's still people just kept buying them. It was such a great library, such a good console.
And we've seen it since, I would say, 2013 with the Xbox One, where it was like, hey, we're doing a digital, and we weren't ready then.
Yep.
We're honestly just now having the conversations today in 2025, and it's starting to feel a little bit more appropriate. Like you can almost mildly see it. GameCube cards, and you're talking about like, well, let's have a disk drive. Oh, it's an optional disk drive. Yep. And there's this is a conversation where they're baby stepping our way into it, right? But like Xbox is just like full on like jump off a cliff and just say, we're doing it. And like that ain't the Kinect. I think I remember it being like had to have the Kinect.
Yeah, you had to have the Kinect.
Forced to have the Kinect. There's just a lot of things that I was like, this is just not. Even then, and we've gone from where they didn't have exclusives then they bought a bunch of console or developers.
Yep.
Shut down beloved studios, gobbled up some. We haven't seen games come for a lot of it. We've just in general for years and years had like a lot of, but this last 6 months has just been like a very negative, like, press releases and news and like
it almost feels like self-sabotage.
Yes.
Like they want to like bankrupt the Xbox brand to just write it off as like, oh, oops, and then just get tax credits or something, because some of these decisions are baffling. Absolutely insane.
And I can sound negative, but I want them to succeed, mainly because it's good to have competition.
Absolutely.
Like having three, I think Xbox is what keeps both mutually, like PlayStation on their at this point, because Nintendo's in their own lane with like they don't, you know what I mean? They're doing stuff that doesn't even like really. The two of them are on their own.
Yeah.
You can mildly say with Switch 2, there's a little bit of competition there, but it's like always people say it's that blue ocean. You know, the blue ocean has no blood in it. It's not red because they're in their own lane. They're in their own like sea of people. And like Xbox and PlayStation's a red ocean. It's bloody and they're fighting each other. It's console wars. And, you know, they're fighting for releases and they're going back to back with like Game Pass and PlayStation having their own. I don't know, but like, so I mean, overall, like I want them. I do want, I mean, I sound negative, but it's more like the constructive criticisms that I'd like to see them improve, because how many people have invested on their brand and their IP and their, you know, just their everything, their infrastructure.
Yep.
And I think to see all that go where them, like you said, sabotage would be a shame.
Yeah. Plus, I've always championed Xbox, not because I'm like, oh, I'm a big Xbox fan. I've never really been a big Xbox fan, even though they're kind of the Sega successor in a lot of ways.
In a lot of ways, yeah.
I've always enjoyed their efforts and the competition, you know, because you can keep the other manufacturers in check. More competition is good.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. Because if let's say Nintendo's the only one, or even Sony, they can charge whatever they want. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, that's it.
You know, and that's the part that sucks. And then they don't have any incentive to innovate or think outside the box or do better than what is out there already. So I don't want them to fail, but like they seem destined to. Yeah, like they're hitting the gas. They're going right to the end of the bridge.
Yeah, and I about put demise as I was thinking about this. Yeah. But I literally started thinking maybe deterioration really is a good word for it, really. Like, it's, I mean, the news cycles that I saw this weekend, the Xbox, I'm glad I Google checked it right before this podcast, was like, it was like Walmart and Target. Oh, I saw all this whole weekend on Reddit, on X, former Twitter, all I saw was like people talking about like Walmart and Target are pulling it off the shelves, the empty shelves. They refuted that because I think Costco did actually. Costco was like, we are done. We're done. And I'm like, I think go back to the Orbit DVD example where they're like, they do very well, you know, as a like a small business like us on the fort, you own DVDs and Blu-rays and like, but Best Buy and Target and Walmart and all them, mainly Best Buy and Target, have just completely pulled out of DVDs and Blu-rays. And, like, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't see Xbox, if they pull out, if they pulled out, and not Xbox, but, like, Walmart and Target, like, you're just not making us the money for the entire aisle that you're costing us. Like, a whole entire dedicated aisle and reps and all this stuff. I can give Nintendo or PlayStation or anyone else or even throw computers that, whatever, in that aisle, and I'll make more money off of it. I could see them doing it, and I don't think Xbox would fight. One, keep it there. Two, like physically continue. Be like, oh, we need to keep pressing this. We need to like preserve everything. We need to make sure this is, you know, like viable. And I don't see it having that Orbit DVD. Like, you know, someone's like carrying on like small business. Be like, because that could happen if they keep pressing disc. You're like, all right, well, you know, it's not big enough for the big guys, but us little guys can carry it. Yeah, and that's fine. And we're happy with it. And there are enough people out there that still want your stuff. It's just not doing like pallets and pallets and pallets off of a shelf onto a mega corporation. Like, you know what I mean? But
like, it's not going to go to a distribution center and then go to like some retailer. It's like, we'll just ship it to you.
Yeah, exactly. And with the second price hike on Xbox consoles and the big $10, I believe it was overall, like from $19.99 to $29.99 on Game Pass, like I have just seen like a ton. I mean, like just vitriol and like just seething like customer like pushback of like, hell no on this.
Yeah, because it's very surprising because I always recommend a Game Pass, regardless of people who are like, well, I don't know if I should get Xbox or PlayStation. I'm like, look, if you're money conscious at all, even in the slightest, get an Xbox because you can get Game Pass and you have $60, $70 games on there and day one games, and you've got a huge library to choose from, and you can just download everything and not worry about it. You don't have to stream anything,
which is nice.
Yeah,
Smart.
or even some stuff if you only want to do the cloud or whatever, like was still a conscious, viable option. But now it's getting harder to recommend buying into a console and buying into that ecosystem and then getting Game Pass. At this point, it's only worth it if you want the new Call of Duty's out, and you do the 1 month, you play it till your heart's content, and then that's it.
Okay, so you're on your record. You're the Xbox guy, right? You're like a fan and love it. You enjoy it. You've had a Series X since day one, right?
Yeah.
Name me your top 5 favorite exclusives.
Oh my God, they don't exist. If it's specifically
really try, can you
only console or does it count PC?
Console.
Then that it doesn't count unless it's
for
old.
Xbox Series X. Do you have any?
Oh, absolutely not.
What are they? Are there any? I mean, I'm being facetious.
Oh
here,
yeah, no,
I
get it.
I know they exist, but
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
It doesn't.
Well, I got one. The Killer Instinct 1 arcade ports are only accessible on Xbox, but they're not exclusive to the Series X, so it doesn't count, I guess.
Well, the Medium was one, but they ported that to PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I literally was one of the ones. Elder Scrolls 6, I could see it, but we got teased that so long ago. I don't know if it's coming on Series X or if it's on Series X2 or whatever they're going to do for there.
The Xbox. Like I said, that's what they're going to call it.
And I'm excited for GTA 6, but I can just play that on PS5. There's nothing I can. All the games that would come out on PlayStation as well.
Yep.
I'm really. And when they did the whole FCC thing, or for the Activision purchase.
Oh yeah.
One of the deals is they cannot make Call of Duty would have been an easy one for them.
Yep.
But that was part of the deals that you cannot make it exclusive because that would be too anti-competitive.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think I know they're making a Fabled game finally. They're finally going back to Fable.
Yeah, but that'll probably be on PS5.
But my God, though, yeah, exactly. So they're putting Gears of War on PS5. That's the other problem is they Indiana Jones. That was one of the few.
Oh yeah.
That I personally was I love Indiana Jones. I've loved the original trilogy a lot. So I just absolutely love it. And I was like, boy, and then Troy Bateman, I believe, does the voice, and I was like, man, this is awesome. Then it came out on PlayStation 5. They were like, time exclusive was their favorite words.
Yep.
Favorite two together. I see it all the time. Time exclusive. And I'm like, man, you guys are missing it because at this point, to have a console is to have exclusives.
Exactly.
That's really, in the modern age, that's really what it means is this thing was why I still like consoles, and I make the argument, I make it a lot. I know, and I get it. I guess I own a game store, so it's
yeah.
So it's a little bit of a biased opinion, but it's true.
Yeah.
It's like a microwave. I mean, it's consistent. You throw it in, throw a disc in. You should be able. Maybe you have to download a patch. Maybe you don't. And you just play the game.
Yep.
And I like it because I've heard this from developers talking about consoles. Is every person who has a PS5 has the same specs essentially.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is another Xbox thing. It just randomly my brain just clicked in. They made the requirement that every game has to work for Series X and Series S, in which they made a power difference. And I'm like, that stifles things right there alone. It makes people not want to. Because you have to make the same game basically for the same, really kind of almost like a whole different console.
Yeah.
And remake it for this other console as a requirement for your console to and I'm like, boy, that is rough.
Yeah, because
it's a rough requirement.
Well, it's the worst part is because they demand parity. So it's okay, you can have the new Watch Dogs come out, but it has to be playable on Series S, which holds back the X and PS5 versions. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened with Watch Dogs, the original one. Is they showed that demo at E3, and everyone's like, oh my God, this is the greatest looking game ever made. This is incredible, blah, blah, blah. It came out, it looked nothing like that because of parity. Yeah. They could have easily made that on PC. The PCs could have handled all of that stuff, but one of the things was they had to have parity. I think it was Microsoft. It was like, no, this has to across the board and
well, the other thing is they stopped releasing console sales numbers a long time ago, years ago. That was when I knew things were bad, wasn't they stopped kind of being like, hey, we're going to release the numbers at least. I was I think the last time I remember was I think PS4, if not 5 and Series A. It was either the last generation, it was 40 million Xboxes versus 80 million PlayStations. It was 2 to 1.
Yeah.
And I think at that point they were we're just going to which I'm shocked because they're a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little shocked that like shareholding wise and all that, like they're just able to get away with that, I guess. Like
it's probably like the shareholders made an argument to, FCC, like, oh, hey, if we release it, it could damage our brand. Like, okay.
I guess I get it, like I do, but it's still kind of like to not release it when everyone has done that for a long time makes you wonder like how good or bad you're doing, and like there's just a lot. Really, my whole point to today's conversation with this is that like it's like a slow descent, and I don't know like if it's very slow, like they were like here at this mountain and they're just slow, like gliding almost.
Yeah.
Or if it's, because I don't want to say they're plummeting. I'd say it is. It just feels like in 5 or 10 years, how much of the brand and goodwill and like it feels like they're killing off. If there were people like you making the arguments out here, like they're making these mistakes, but you know what I mean. Like again, I'm gonna advocate again. A lot of negativity is coming out of what I have to say, but it's hopefully everyone understands constructive criticisms. What really is for me is like more than anything, these are things that you're doing that people see and it's out there, and it's like you need to make these changes. Like again, Xbox is not my favorite place to game, but it doesn't mean they can't become a favorite for me or anyone else.
Yeah,
if they just tried.
They were the favorite at one point. They really were.
They were.
Like the Wii was its own thing, but
it was.
I don't count the Wii as part of
the
highest selling. You have like a dozen games that are absolutely worth playing, and then the rest is hot garbage ports or shovelware. There's more than that, but I'm just saying like. The Wii was not like, oh, I have to get a Wii and I have to play this. Maybe for Mario Galaxy or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But, oh, I need a console. I'm going to get the Wii. That was never the conversation. But 360 was the de facto standard, especially you had Xbox Live being the absolute top tier.
People talked about that, like the servers and like how well. And
all the ports ran better on 360. Like they were on top. And
controller,
people away.
People love that Xbox 360 controller. I came to me, people have came in and be like, I love the controller.
You had the perfect, I've said it before on the podcast, you had the perfect controller. It was perfect. Literally considered one of the greatest controllers of all time, and you dumped $100 million. $100 million into R&D for a new controller? You went from this to this. That's literally all you did, and you added a share button. That's disgusting. That grosses me out. That's insane.
Well, to go with that conversation, like I think that's right when Nintendo stopped caring about like this GameCube was like trying to keep up with everybody.
Yeah,
like all three. When you get a port, like they were like, that's when it's the last time they got like ports that were like could handle. You know what I mean? Before,
yeah, because it had a little bit of power to it.
For example, and like they diverged. They completely went off the trail at that point. And like Xbox, like you said, is where a lot of the hardcore, where the gaming community because. PlayStation got very, as is known and documented, like PS3, they got very cocky.
Oh, yeah.
And did the $600 release. Like, I heard it was notoriously difficult for developers to develop on the console.
I mean, that's why we still don't have PS3 ports. Not a single PS3 game has been ported to any other console. Has not happened. And you have things like Metal Gear Solid 4 being the only Metal Gear game that you can't play on modern systems. And that's crazy. That's why if you go to PlayStation Plus, you can only stream those games. Can't download them. Is because of the way they were programmed.
So would you say Lollipop Chainsaw, they pulled it from the 360 probably?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. When you said that, my brain was like, but then I was like, well, I guess they could theoretically.
Same with Catherine, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Catherine was big on PS3, but like.
You could just pull the. Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that actually. I can't, like, I don't. All I was going to say is, it is weird, isn't it? Like, it's just strange. Like, at that point, they had the gaming community. Because, like, again, we was doing its own. It was families.
Yeah.
And, like, I agree. Like, what you're saying.
Nintendo was Nintendoing. They were doing fine.
They were wearing the crap for sales. But,
but
the gaming community moved to 360 that generation.
That's when that term core gamers came
gamers. Yeah. Because that's when I agree with that. Like, it was a different. Well, it was the traditional aspect people thought of. Like, it was that traditional audience. And they have just, because like PlayStation worked really, PS4 really, I think, won a lot of that back. If not everybody back.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it was like one of those examples where they were like, hey, we were way too cocky, way too wild on 3. 4 was back to basics, great exclusives. Well, Xbox One was one of those ones where it's like, at the time, because now it's been years since Series X, I thought it was like a wild, lost in the jungle, but you're going to come out, you're going to do like PlayStation 3 did.
I thought so too.
And then Series X is going to come out swinging. I thought, I was like, hey, you're just having a little bit of a rough period. You kind of lost fundamentals and basics, and you're going to get back to the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, you could say a lot of people, because we did so well that when the Wii U came out, it was kind of like, oof. But a lot of people almost consider, I feel like, the Wii and Wii U together, even though Wii sales are great.
Yeah.
As far as, like, different, but I will say, as far as, like, examples of, like, consoles coming back, like, Switches, obviously, they came swinging.
Oh, yeah.
I would say we wouldn't really have a Switch, because there's some games like ARMS and, like, 1-2 Switch. You wouldn't have the Joy-Cons if you didn't have the Wiimotes.
Exactly, yeah.
So, I mean, there's, like, innovation there. And I guess, like, for Xbox, I guess Game Pass is the closest to their, like, real... That's like the true innovation of, like, we've made something that's, like, very innovative. Other than SSD, which is kind of standard for a lot of things now.
Yeah.
They don't really innovate it as much as they just incorporated the technology.
Yeah. And even then, Sony was the first one to come out. Like, we're having a SSD drive in our console and all this. So they even with that, they stole the thunder. So
I'll say I hope, similar to Wii U, that, like, we get, like, a return, like, Switch. You know, it's like and Xbox is like, hey, we've had 2 rough cycles, but this third one, we got you.
They need to cook. I hope that they do. Like I said, I don't want them to go away. I'm just absolutely angry with them for making the most dumb decisions imaginable in gaming history.
I'll hope on this podcast we don't, it's not another several months or even year of, like, oh, this week or this month they decided to say
guess what
this.
Microsoft did today? Like,
yeah, they actually burned down the Rare headquarters.
Yeah.
They said it was cheaper than the, and I mean, like, I don't know, like something crazy
God.
where it's
it was
like
a tax write-off.
Yeah, like, well, that IP, they killed it. They said it was done.
All the KI stuff that's hanging in the hallways burned to the ground.
Halo's now on Switch 2 and PS5, but
yeah, well, supposedly they're remaking the original Halo for PS5 and Switch 2, so we'll see. Yeah, well, I think we are out of time.
We are out of time, but guys, wonderful. It is great being back as always. We love being with you guys, so a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
Yes.
It's good times.
Happy Spooktober.
Woo! Enjoy. We're in the holidays, guys. We're so excited. It's so, and oh yeah, by the way, you mentioned on this, we are having a trunk or treat.
Yes.
Across the street from Red Fox Gaming. Come out, celebrate, dress up, have fun. October 27th.
Come see my truck.
I think I'll probably try to drop the notes in the show notes here for you guys. And yeah, just have a good time with us. It's going to be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
We are excited. The holidays are coming. It's going to be good. So be safe, guys. Have a good time out there. And we'll see you.
Love, peace, chicken grease.